Swayambhu Narada Shambhu Kumara Kapilo Manu Prahlad Janaka Bhishma Bali Vyasakir Bayam. The principles of Dharma, religion, come down in the Parampara system, beginning with 12 personalities, namely Lord Brahma, the great Saint Narada, Lord Shiva, the 4 Kumaras, Kapila, the son of Devahuti, Swayambhuva Manu, Prahlad Maharaj, King Janaka, grandfather Bhishma, Bali Maharaj, Shukadeva Goswami, and Yamaraj. The principles of religion are known to these 12 Mahajan personalities. Nimna Ganang Yafa Ganga, Devanam Achuto Yafa, Vaishnavanam Yafa Shambhu, Purananam Idang Tata. Just as the Ganga is the greatest of all rivers, just as Lord Achyuta, Krishna, is supreme among deities, and just as Srimad Bhagavatam is the greatest of all Puranas, so too Lord Shambhu, Shiva, is the greatest of Vaishnavas. Shirang Yata Dadhivikara Vishesha Yogat Sanjayate Natu Tata Pritagasti Heto Ya Shambhutam Apitata Samupaiti Karyad Govindamadi Purushang Tamahang Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purushang Tamahang Bhajami. As milk changes into yogurt when mixed with a yogurt culture, but actually it is constitutionally nothing but milk, so similarly Govinda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, assumes the form of Lord Shiva, Shambhu, for the special purpose of material transactions. I, Lord Brahma, offer my obeisances at Krishna's lotus feet. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Sri Maitreya said. In the beginning, Lord Brahma created great sages named Sanaka, Sananda, Sanatan, and Sanat Kumar. All of them were unwilling to adopt materialistic activities because they were highly elevated due to their semens flowing upwards. Brahma spoke to his sons just after generating them. O my dear sons, now generate progeny. But due to their being attached to Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, instead, they aimed at liberation and therefore expressed their unwillingness. On the refusal of the sons to obey the order of their father, there was much anger generated in the mind of Brahma, which he tried to control and not express. Although Brahma tried to curb his anger, it came out from between his eyebrows, and a child mixed blue and red was immediately generated. And after his birth, the child began to cry. O destiny maker, O teacher of the universe, kindly designate my name and place. The all-powerful Lord Brahma accepted the child's request and pacified the boy with gentle words. "Do not cry. I shall certainly do as you desire. O chief of the demigods, you shall be called by the name Rudra by all people, because you have so anxiously cried. My dear boy, I have already selected the following places for your residence: the heart, senses, air of life, sky, air, fire, water, earth, sun, moon, austerity. My dear boy Rudra, you have 11 other names: Manu, Manu, Mahinasa, Mahan, Shiva, Ritadvaja, Ugrareta, Bhava, Kala, Vamadev, Dritavrata. O Rudra, you also have 11 wives called Rudranis, and they are as follows: Di, Driti, Rasala, Uma, Niyut, Sarpi, Ila, Ambika, Iravati, Swadha, Diksha. My dear boy, you may now accept all the names and places designated for you, along with your different wives. And since you are now one of the masters of the living entities, you may increase the population on a large scale. The most powerful Rudra, whose bodily color was blue mixed with red, created many offspring, exactly resembling him in features, strength, and furious nature. The sons and grandsons generated by Rudra were unlimited in number, and when they assembled together, they attempted to devour the entire universe. So when Brahma, the father of the living entity, saw this, he became afraid of the situation. Brahma spoke to Rudra. "O best among the demigods, there is no need for you to generate living entities of this nature. They have begun to devastate everything on all sides with their fiery flames from their eyes. Why, they have even attacked me. And so, my dear son, you had better situate yourself in penance, which is auspicious for all living entities. Penance will bring all benedictions upon you. By penance only, you shall be able to create the universe as it was before. For by penance only can one even approach the personality of Godhead, who dwells within the heart of every living entity, and who, at the same time, is beyond the reach of all the senses, and therefore he is known as Adhokshaja." And so Rudra, having been ordered by Lord Brahma, circumambulated his father, the master of the Vedas, addressing him with words of assent and agreement. Rudra entered the forest to perform austere penances. Kashyapa, the son of Marichi, once instructed his wife Diti, the daughter of Daksha. Lord Shiva, the king of the ghosts, sitting on the back of his bull carrier, at this time travels, accompanied by ghosts who follow him for their welfare. Lord Shiva's body is reddish, but he is unstained, although he is covered with ashes. His hair is dusty from the whirlwind dust of the burning crematorium. He is the younger brother of your husband and sees with his 3 eyes. Lord Shiva regards no one as his relative, yet there is no one who is not connected with him. He does not regard anyone as very favorable or abominable, and we respectfully worship the remnants of his foodstuff, and we vow to accept that which is rejected by him. Although no demigod, demon, or human being in this material world is equal to or greater than Lord Shiva, and although his unimpeachable character is followed by great souls to dismantle the mass of nescience, Shiva nevertheless remains as if a devil, just to give salvation to his followers. Unfortunate, foolish persons, not knowing that he is engaged in his own self, they laugh at him. Such foolish persons engage in maintaining the body which is eatable by dogs with dresses, ornaments, garlands, and ointments. Demigods like Brahma also follow the religious rites observed by him. Shiva is the controller of the material energy, which causes the creation of the material world. Shiva is great, and therefore his devilish characteristics are simply imitation. Lord Chaitanya instructed Sanatana Goswami. Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, expands a portion of his plenary full portion, and accepting the association of the material mode of ignorance, assumes the form of Rudra, just to dissolve the cosmic manifestation. Rudra, Lord Shiva, has various forms, which are transformations brought about by association with Maya. Although Rudra is on a level above that of the Jiva Tattvas, still Shiva cannot be considered a personal expansion of Lord Krishna. Just as milk is transformed into yogurt when it associates with a yogurt culture, still yogurt is nothing but milk and is still not milk. Lord Shiva is an associate of the external energy. Therefore, Shiva is absorbed in the material quality of darkness. Lord Vishnu is transcendental to Maya and the qualities of Maya, and that is why Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The truth about Lord Shiva is that he is always covered with three material coverings known as Vaikarika, Taijasa, and Tamasa. Because of these modes of material nature, Shiva always associates with the external energy and egotism itself. In the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Maitreya tells Vidura about the frustration of the yajna of Daksha. Daksha always held a grudge against his son-in-law because Daksha was obliged to hand over his youngest and pet daughter, Sati, to Lord Shiva on the order of Lord Brahma. At the onset of the sacrifice, all the assembly stood up in respect when Daksha entered the arena, since Daksha was appointed chief of the Prajapatis by Brahmaji, and Daksha's effulgence was most pronounced. Daksha took offense that his son-in-law, Shiva, did not rise up to show respect at that time. Lord Shiva was in Samadhi and was unaware of what was happening. So Daksha took advantage of the scene as an opportunity to publicly criticize Lord Shiva. Then there was cursing and counter-cursing by the followers of Lord Shiva and the followers of Daksha. Later, when another sacrifice was being performed at Daksha's home, Sati naturally wanted to attend the function at her father's house. But Lord Shiva advised Sati not to go, citing several reasons why it would be most inauspicious for her to do so, since she was not invited, and also because her father was so envious of her glorious husband. After going back and forth in her considering the pros and cons of the situation, Sati decided to attend the sacrifice in spite of her husband's warning. Subsequently, when things played out exactly as Lord Shiva had predicted, and Sati was neglected by her father, Sati immolated herself on the spot, her body bursting into flames. Sati had decided to quit the body she had obtained from Daksha's body, and she wanted to transfer herself to another body so that she might have completely uncontaminated association with Lord Shiva. Of course, it is understood that in her next life she would take birth as the daughter of the Himalayas, Parvati, and then she would again accept Lord Shiva as her husband. Sati and Lord Shiva are eternally related, even after she changes her body. Their relationship is never broken. It was from Uddhava, the great devotee of Krishna and disciple of Brihaspati, that Maitreya heard the whole story of the Daksha Yajna, which was devastated by Lord Shiva. In that story, which is described in 6 chapters of the 4th canto, we learn of the wonderful abode of Lord Shiva, known as Kailas, and we also hear the greatness of Mahadev from the mouth of Lord Brahma when he advised the demigods how and why they should atone for their offenses against the faultless god Shiva. In the end, Daksha is brought back to life when the head of a goat, which was supposed to be sacrificed in the initial sacrifice, is placed on the dead body of Daksha. At that time, Daksha, now purified, offered praise of Lord Shiva and begged forgiveness. And at the conclusion of the sacrifice, Lord Vishnu himself appeared on the scene, blessing everyone in attendance. Towards the end of the 4th canto, Vidura learns from Maitreya about the time when the 10 sons of Prachina Barhi left home to execute austerities, and they met Lord Shiva, who, out of his causeless mercy, instructed them about the absolute truth. All the sons of Prachina Barhi meditated upon the instructions, chanting and worshiping them with great care and attention. The chapter is aptly entitled Shiva Gita. At the end of Canto 5, Parikshit hears from Shukadeva Goswami as he describes Anantadev, the source of Lord Shiva. Lord Ananta, whose body is completely spiritual, resides at the root of the planet Patala. Anantadev always lives in the core of the heart of Lord Shiva, and Anantadev helps Lord Shiva to destroy the universe. At that time, Anantadev instructs Lord Shiva how to destroy the cosmos, and thus he is sometimes called Tamasi, one in the mode of darkness. Anantadev is the original deity of material consciousness, and because Anantadev attracts all living entities, Anantadev is sometimes known as Sankarshan. The entire material world is situated on the hoods of Lord Sankarshan. From his forehead, Anantadev transmits to Lord Shiva the power to destroy this material world. Because Lord Sankarshan is an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, many devotees offer him prayers. And in the planetary system of Patala, all the Suras, Asuras, Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, and learned sages offer respectful obeisances to Lord Anantadeva. Narayana para sarve na kutaschana vidyati swarga pavarga narakeshu api tu yartha darshanaha. A person who is a devotee of Lord Narayana is not afraid of any hellish condition, because the devotee considers it the same as elevation to the heavenly planets or even liberation. The devotees of Lord Narayana are accustomed to seeing all things on the same level within this material world. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya. This is a verse from the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam regarding the personality of Chitraketu. Once, when Chitraketu saw the goddess Parvati sitting on the lap of Lord Shiva, Chitraketu criticized Lord Shiva for being shameless and sitting just like an ordinary man with his wife on his lap. For this reason, Chitraketu was then cursed by Parvati. Later, Chitraketu became a demon named Vritra Asura. Chitraketu was a very powerful king and devotee, and Chitraketu could certainly have retaliated even against Lord Shiva. But when Parvati cursed him, Chitraketu immediately accepted her curse with a bowed head. When Chitraketu agreed to accept the curse, Lord Shiva praised Chitraketu, telling Parvati that such a devotee of Lord Narayana is never afraid of accepting any position, provided there is a chance to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so before this incident, after 7 days and nights of chanting the mantras given to him by Narada Muni, Chitraketu personally talked with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. King Chitraketu enjoyed life in his airplane with the women of the Vidyadhara planet, engaging in the congregational chanting of the glories of the Lord. Chitraketu thus began flying his plane and traveling throughout outer space. One day, while traveling like this, Chitraketu wandered into the bowers of Sumeru mountain, where he came upon Lord Shiva embracing Parvati, surrounded by an assembly of Siddhas, Charanas, and great sages. Seeing Lord Shiva in that situation, Chitraketu laughed very loudly, but Parvati became very angry at him and cursed Chitraketu. Because of this curse, Chitraketu later appeared as the demon Vritra Asura. Chitraketu, however, was not at all afraid of Parvati's curse. When Chitraketu was cursed by Parvati, he descended from his airplane, bowed before her with great humility, and pleased Parvati completely. So after Chitraketu satisfied both Lord Shiva and his wife Parvati, Chitraketu boarded his airplane and left as they looked on. When Lord Shiva and Parvati saw that Chitraketu, although informed of the curse, was still unafraid, they smiled, being fully satisfied by his behavior. And at this time, Lord Shiva told his wife Parvati, "Oh, my dear Devi, neither I nor Brahma, nor the Ashwini Kumars, nor Narada, or the other great sages who are sons of Lord Brahma, nor even the demigods, can understand the pastimes and personality of the Supreme Lord. Although we are part of the Supreme Lord, we still consider ourselves independent, separate controllers, and thus we cannot properly understand the identity of Narayan." In the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Narada Muni describes to Yudhishthir how the demon Maya Danava constructed the flying residence of Tripura for the demons, who thus became very powerful and defeated the demigods. Because of this defeat, Lord Rudra, Shiva, dismantled Tripura, thus he became famous as Tripurari. Long, long ago in history, a demon known as Mayadanava, who was very expert in technical knowledge, reduced the reputation of Lord Shiva. And in that situation, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, saved Lord Shiva. When the demigods, who are always powerful by the mercy of Lord Krishna, fought with the Asuras were defeated, and therefore they took shelter of Mayadanava, the greatest of the demons. The great leader of the demons, Mayadanava, prepared 3 invisible residents and gave them to the demons. These dwellings resembled airplanes made of gold, silver, and iron, and they contained uncommon paraphernalia. My dear King Yudhishthir, because of these 3 dwellings, the commanders of the demons remained invisible to the demigods. Taking advantage of this opportunity, the demons, remembering their former enmity, began to vanquish the 3 worlds, the upper, middle, and lower planetary systems. And thereafter, when the demons had begun to destroy the higher planetary systems, the rulers of those planets went to Lord Shiva, fully surrendering unto him, and thus they spoke. "Dear Lord, we demigods living in the 3 worlds are about to be vanquished. We are your followers. Kindly save us." The most powerful and most able Lord Shiva reassured them and said, "Do not be afraid." He then fixed his arrows to his bow and released them towards the 3 residences occupied by the demons. Attacked by Lord Shiva's golden arrows, all the demoniac inhabitants of those 3 dwellings lost their lives and fell down. But then the great mystic Mayadanava dropped the demons into a nectarian well that he had created. And when the dead bodies of the demons came in touch with the nectar, their bodies became invincible to thunderbolts. Now, endowed with great strength, they got up like lightning penetrating clouds. However, seeing Lord Shiva Very much aggrieved and disappointed, the Supreme Lord Vishnu considered how to stop this nuisance created by Maya Danava. Lord Brahma then became a calf, and Lord Vishnu became a cow, and at noon they entered the residences and drank all the nectar in the well. The demons could see the calf and cow, but because of the illusion created by Lord Vishnu's energy, the demons could not forbid them. The great mystic Mayadanava became aware that the calf and cow were drinking the nectar, and he could understand this to be the unseen power of providence. Thereafter, Lord Krishna, by his own personal potency, equipped Lord Shiva with all necessary paraphernalia, such as a chariot, chariot driver, flag, horses, elephants, bow, shield, and arrows. So when Lord Shiva was fully equipped in this way, he sat down on the chariot with his arrows and bow to fight with the demons. The most powerful Lord Shiva set fire to all three residences of the demons at noon, and thus destroyed them. O King Yudhishthir, Lord Shiva thus became famous by the name Tripurari, the annihilator of the three dwellings of the demons, because he burnt these dwellings to ashes. Being worshipped by demigods headed by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva then returned to his own abode.